We've got good news for Ripple. I did some massive shopping. A big announcement is happening tomorrow. Cardano's got some money to spend from its treasury. Will it help the price of ADA? A chart you need to see in regards to XRP, along with
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
and happy Friday, you absolute legends. It looks like XRP is going to be sliding into the buy zone, and I've lowered my buy targets for XRP. That's right, I'll tell you at the end what my new buy price target is. But before we get into the crypto news, your comments come first because you, the viewer, matter most. GMD says, I bet she's a Bitcoin maxi, talking about Taurus and the denial of the settlement action. Last night, I was playing some Tarkov. Woods only, so if you play and you see me on Woods, my name is Crypto with Klaus. I hope I don't get you. VHF Ash says, this is the worst bull run. What a shit show. XRP will not make it past $5 this bull run as a result of this. Well, I mean, there's other problems we got going too. We got bad macros, a little bit of Middle East problems. We got Jerome Powell not cutting rates. We have inflation problems. We got BTC dominance, a whole bunch of issues. Shane Wilkins dropping support on the channel. Thank you, Shane. Shane says, thanks. You're very welcome. I love bringing you the news. Good, bad, happy, or sad. Bitcoin sitting at 106,950. ETH is 24.33. XRP at 209. While ADA is at 55 cents. We're going to talk about ADA because Charles is getting desperate. He's got a bunch of ADA and the stuff is becoming worthless. So what is he going to do? He's going to sell some ADA and buy some. We'll talk about it. His hope, selling ADA for other crypto, is going to make him more money. But first, Pi Network's Pi 2 day is tomorrow. That's right, 6/28. You're like, bro, what does that even mean? Well, Pi is 3.14. So 6/28 is Pi 2. So they're thinking there's going to be a big announcement. Here's the chart. Yeah, you better have a mega announcement. I just get tired of all the hopium that's being pumped to these players. Pi is an extremely good example of a crypto out there that was hyped for years. Yeah, everyone, for years this thing was hyped. Oh, they're going to be launching the biggest thing. Oh, it's going to be a network for this and this and this. For years it was hyped, and then it was pumped, dumped, and dumped again. Over-promising, under-delivering, one of the biggest shit shows out there in crypto. Now let's get to Charles in charge. Douchebag alert. Cardano founder proposes creating more yield with Cardano's $1 billion buying power. That's right. Hoskinson stressed that either approach would boost the Cardano ecosystem. He's talking about using some ADA to buy stable coins or Bitcoin, everyone. That's right. Charles now wants to do the sailor approach. Furthermore, buying Bitcoin with the treasury funds would serve as a first money in, showing how Bitcoin DeFi can generate yield on Cardano. This could also advance the course to unlock trillions of dollars in liquidity from the Bitcoin ecosystem. So Charles is looking at it going, yo, ADA ain't going anywhere price-wise, so let's buy some BTC. So for everyone out there wondering, is it altcoin season? Well, when your biggest players out there like Charles Hoskinson are selling their own native token to buy BTC, and we look at the altcoin season index and it says 22 out of 100, which means it's Bitcoin dominant, that tells you everything you need to know. Altcoin season is not happening right now. Can it happen in the future? Sure, of course it can. But right now, some of your biggest players out there are ditching their own shit to buy BTC. Ripple mints 12 million in RLUSD tokens, potentially positioning itself to become stablecoin market leaders. Look, this is extremely important. Why is this important? Well, let's talk about it. The reason this is important is because RLUSD is a big money maker for Ripple. And in fact, when you look at RLUSD, the majority of it is found on Ethereum's chain. Yeah, Ethereum's chain. Now, when we zoom out, you can see exactly what we're talking about. $440 million worth of market cap right there. The volume's at 37 million for the last 24 hours, so not too much volume going on with that. But let's learn. Ripple has minted 12 million RLUSD tokens in a strategic push to the rapidly expanding market cap. Ripple's recent minting of 12 million RLUSD tokens on the Ethereum blockchain, and we talked about that plenty of times. No one's using XRPL. There's hardly any minting. In fact, there's only $70-something million worth of stablecoins on XRPL. The big hitters like Tron, Solana, Binance Smart Chain, they all got billions of dollars on their chain. Now, that being said, Ripple is being smart. They are now going and branching out into stable coins. They've got their XRP. They've got their custody right. They bought their hidden road. So as a business, Ripple's doing exactly the right thing. They're diversified. They've got a bunch of different strategies. They've got payment strategies, custody, stable coins. They're doing the right thing. The stablecoin sector is no longer just about providing a stable medium of exchange. It has evolved into a lucrative business model. Tether, backed by U.S. Treasuries, has generated $593 million in revenue over the past 30 days. USDC earned $191 million in revenue. RLUSD enters the landscape with the potential to adopt similar yield strategies, so it's no wonder Ripple launched RLUSD. Stablecoins make a ton of money. Now, let's take a look at the chart. This is a scary one, okay? Remember, my job is bring you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. This is the XRPBTC chart of all time. Yo, this is bad. Bad, bad, bad. This shows you how XRP is performing to BTC. And yes, we did have a little bit of a bump up right here in 2025, early 2025, when XRP was roaring compared to BTC. But you can see since we're starting to what, everyone? We're starting to slide on the way back down. Now, if you go to the last 6 months, you can kind of see that, right? Yeah, it was kind of juicy in the beginning of January when we were getting all the news about, oh, we're going to get a strategic reserve, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. But you can see BTC dominance is rearing its ugly head, and it sucks. Now, I don't make the news, I just report the news to you. You want hopium? Go somewhere else. You want the real news? You stick around for here. Now let's switch to XRP native token. We're at $2.09. Volume 3.18 billion. So pretty strong for a Friday, everyone. Let's go to those candlesticks. We'll go to the 15-minute variant where you're going to see a lot of softness appearing on the screen. I told you, I lowered my buy target. I said I will buy XRP sub $2. Well, now I'm getting even more greedy. Why? Because you're seeing a lot more opportunities more often. Yeah, the market overall, the overall crypto market is getting soft. H-bar is getting softer more often. ADA is softer more often. Sol is softer more often. So my new XRP buy target is $1.90, right around $1.90, $1.92. I will not be chasing XRP for anything higher than that. If it means I have to wait a few weeks, done. If it means I have to wait a month, done. But I will not be chasing because as I look at the market, I'm like, yo, the softness is here. And the softness is only getting worse. So instead of chasing higher prices, I'm going to actually lower all my targets because the market's getting worse. So now $1.90 XRP is my buy zone. That being said, this whole time period right here, from April all the way through to June, I didn't buy any XRP. I didn't. When all of a sudden we started seeing that dipperoni here in late June, where we got that sub $2 XRP, there you go. Now that being said, what am I noticing? The peaks are getting less. Yeah, that's not good either. Jerome Powell's not cutting rates. We're also not getting regs anytime soon. We're also seeing what? BTC dominance. We're also looking at the chart of BTC XRP, which is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. We're also looking at the native token asset USDT chart, which looks weaker and weaker and weaker. We're also seeing the bigs out there selling their native token for what? BTC and stablecoins. We're also seeing what? The Circle stablecoin IPO go absolutely bonkers right now. So with all these things out there, it's telling me that I need to adjust my strategy. And this is what I'm doing. I'm not telling you what you're doing, what you should do. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm adjusting my buy target right now to $1.90 for XRP. I'm not going to be chasing. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait for those opportunities, and I'm going to strike when it is time. Now, how long will this market softness last? Well, my personal belief is that we're going to have a few months. We're going to have a few months till rates come down. And even then, rates are still going to be relatively high. The European Central Bank has cut rates like, 11 times or something like that? So yeah, Jerome cutting it 1 or 2 times this year isn't going to do that much of a difference. And regs, they're going to take some time as well. So we've got time there. And there's always something, isn't there? Remember when Trump and Musk had the little spat between the two of them? That sent crypto prices down. Israel and Iran had a little action going on. That sent prices down. So my point is, we see a lot of softness in the market, and stable coins are garnering a lot of attention. You're seeing HBAR at levels that you haven't seen since what? Like November, December time frame. So all the writing on the wall and the BTC dominance out there is telling me what? I can be more aggressive with my targets. Now, you do whatever you want. Remember, my job is to bring you the news so that you can decide what best suits you. But the news right now is telling us, no, it's not altcoin season like all the people on Twitter saying, no, it's not melting faces, grown men will cry or any crap like that. No, it's telling us that things are really soft right now. And there's just a lot of bad news. And Ripple going into RLUSD tells us what? They're diversifying. Charles going, yo, we're going to sell some ADA for BTC and stables tells us what? That ADA ain't where it's at right now. PiCoin, which was hyped for years and years and years, and you saw that piece of shit chart, tells us what? Exactly, everyone. Now, do I hope that things are going to magically turn around and we're going to get an altcoin bull run? Yes, of course. But that's hope, not reality. We need some definite macros to change. We need some regaronies to happen. And look, we need a lot of things to turn around in this market for the alts to really shine. But for now, I'm going to be aggressive, and we're seeing players out there ditch their own native token for BTC and stables. So for me, that's the writing on the wall to be aggressive and to snipe even lower. Choo-choo what? Choo-choo biz nachos.